Hello everyone, welcome to the International Forum today. As everybody knows, human rights is the essence of democracy. Taiwan is known for being the democratic beacon of Asia. However, in Taiwan, there's actually a human rights violating case lasting for almost a quarter century. That is the Tai Ji Men case. Today, we invited younger generation to speak out for transformation in pursuit of justice and human rights. And first, we're gonna invite a graduate student, Jason Tong. He grew up in Taiwan and has witnessed and participated in the process of the Tai Ji Men case. Welcome.
Hello everyone, I'm Jason. I'm in my first year of graduate school right now. Our lab is focused on transportation safety studies. There are mistakes in the chaos. My professor explained, mistake will lead to accident, and accident will lead to death. As a result, we take every situation very seriously. In the film, even the tiniest error could result in someone's death. I understand that no mistakes are permitted. Of course, this applies to people from all areas of life, particularly government, law enforcement authorities. It's been 25 years since the Tai Ji Men case. It's fair to say that I grew up in a redress case. Tai Ji Men was found not guilty and tax-free on July 13, 2007, according to Supreme Court. Tai Ji Men is a Qigong martial arts Menpai according to the Supreme Administrative Court of 2018. In accordance with the verdict, the facetious tax invoice should have been cancelled. Despite this, the National Taxation Bureau continued to tax Tai Ji Men in defiance of court's order. What basis does the NTB use to assess taxes? Administrative authorities entirely trump judicial authority. How could this happen in Taiwan, a democratic and law government country? Even more outrageous is the fact that on August 21st last year, the NTB teamed up with the Administrative Enforcement Agency to seize people's belongings. Tai Ji Men's land, immediately planned to use as a spiritual retreat, was illegal auctioned off by the AEA and was eventually taken over by the NTB. My mind went blank when Tai Ji Men's holy land was nationalized, because I didn't believe the administrative agency could destroy the country and justice in front of everyone's eyes. I had never witnessed a crime before, but I did so on August 21st of last year. The case has gotten a lot of attention from professionals and academy both at home and abroad, and it has gotten a lot of coverage in the media both at home and abroad. Representatives from all walks of life examine the Tai Ji Men case is further depth during this year's International Religious Freedom Summit. A symposium on Tai Ji Men case was also carried on American television last month. The Tai Ji Men case has gained international attention as one of the most serious incidents of religious freedom persecution. It is unjust for a spiritual practice group that advocates the concept of love and peace to have been persecuted by Taiwanese government for 25 years. Here, I would like to call on the government to protect human rights and freedom in accordance with the Constitution, revoke the illegal tax bill, return to Tai Ji Men the sacred land for self-cultivation, and at the same time, punish the offending judge severely, truly implement peace and human rights protection, and stop all violent acts on the legal tax. Taiwan is currently dealing with the slew of issues. COVID-19 has not vanished completely from our life, and the democracy we are most proud of has been shattered by few corrupt NTB and AEA officials. Dr. Hong, my shifu, has informed us the resolution. When we face the current obstacle and challenge, there is still a solution to all these problems. He wrote in his thesis, the key in people's conscience. Conscience is the core value of world citizenship. Conscience distinguishes right from wrong, good from bad, and true from false. Conscience created sincere humanity and the well-being of all people. Everyone's conscience, I believe, will lead us to the good. Taiwan will undoubtedly become a better place as a result of everyone's efforts. If we unite together, set aside our biases, viewpoints, and address all difficulties honestly. Thank you.
Thank you, Jason Tong. Indeed, conscience is the key to solve the problems we faced in the current world, including the chaos in Taiwan tax and law system. This is a very essential issue for happiness of all people living in Taiwan. And next up, let's watch a video summarizing the Tai Ji Men case mentioned earlier and the current progress of that case. Welcome.
Tai Ji Men Qigong Academy and the Action Alliance to Redress 1219 have sought justice from Taiwan's government through live protests and virtual forums.
Stop violating Tai Ji Men's human rights!
So the Tai Ji Men Qigong Academy case started in 1996, and it was persecution on spiritual groups, and Tai Ji Men Qigong Academy was caught in the crossfire of all of that. Despite the Supreme Court of Taiwan's rulings that we're innocent and tax-free, a few rogue bureaucrats continue to send us tax bills, and even just last year in 2020, our land was illegally auctioned off.
The Tai Ji Men case has also garnered support from scholars around the world.
And in Taiwan, the long-running attack against the Tai Ji Men community by bureaucratic despots within the tax administration have led many religious freedom experts around the world to condemn this form of administrative religious persecution.
The abuse of the National Tax Bureau has lasted for almost a quarter of a century. I call upon the Taiwan government to honor the law, the sentences passed by its judges, and the moral responsibility it has to watch over and protect all its citizens equally, as determined by its own mandate.
A breakthrough in the case occurred when the principal witness, on whom the prosecutor based his tax evasion accusation against Tai Ji Men, told a journalist that the prosecutor oversaw the case and that the witness testimony was merely a formality. The witness revealed that illegal tax bills were issued to Tai Ji Men at the request of the Investigation Bureau's City Field Office. Shi Sheng accepted this interview when seriously ill and revealed that he was pressured to do what the prosecution told him to do. Although he has since passed away, Tai Ji Men is hopeful that his testimony will provide the evidence needed to obtain justice.
It proves that what happened was not a mistake. There was no mistake. It was a deliberate framing of Tai Ji Men for obscure motivations through false documents, false accusations, and a false tax investigation that never happened. Now, if this is not enough to reopen the Tai Ji Men case and cancel the 1992 tax bill, give back to Tai Ji Men their sacred land, I don't know what more is needed. It's a general principle of the law all over the world that when new elements emerge, even final decisions can and should be revised. Revision is a fundamental principle of justice.
So far this year, the Action Alliance to Redress 1219 has presented messages to representatives from TECRO, the Taiwan Economic and Cultural Representative Office in San Francisco and Washington, D.C.
We're Tai Ji Men members in the United States. We conveyed our message to Taiwan's Representative Lai in San Francisco.
We have just conveyed our message to Taiwan's Representative Xiao in the D.C.
So far, there has been no response, but the Tai Ji Men Qigong Academy and the Action Alliance to Redress 1219 continue their activism in person and online, where scholars continue to voice their support for the cause.
The government of Taiwan should do the right thing and eliminate the tax from 1992, which is just absurd considering what has happened for 1991 and the other years, and to restore the property that was unlawfully seized.
The difference with Tai Ji Men is that they fight. And perhaps it's not too much to say that they're fighting to preserve Taiwan as a democratic country that follows its own laws and stifles corruption in bureaucracy.
Justice for Tai Ji Men, for human rights!
In the video, there's no doubt that Tai Ji Men case really is a false case. The former official working in the National Taxation Bureau has admitted that the tax bill bothering Tai Ji Men is actually sent out without any investigation. Also, many international legal and human rights experts have spoken out for Tai Ji Men. And next up, we're gonna invite Eva Mao. She's a trading company executive assistant. Also, one of the victims of Tai Ji Men case. Welcome.
Hello everyone, my name is Eva. I'm a Tai Ji Men dizi. My family and I have joined Tai Ji Men for 28 years. December 19th, 1996 marked the beginning of a series of unlawful treatments that prosecutor Hou Kuan-ren inflicted upon Tai Ji Men. That all started because of an untruthful reporting. I remember that day when I just got home from school. As I turned on the TV, a shocking news came into my sight right away. December 19th became the day that I will never forget. I was only 6. At that time, the untruthful news is on almost every channel and in all the newspaper. If people around you knew that you were a Tai Ji Men dizi, they would look at you strangely and even make sarcastic, harmful comments against you. I remember when I was playing the ball with my cousin. She didn't catch the ball and the ball hit her. Her mom rushed to us and shouted, "Hey, be careful! She will hurt you. She's practicing Tai Ji Men Qigong." I was only 6. How could I understand why people would abuse such a good organization? Because in Tai Ji Men, my shifu always teach me to strengthen my health and to cultivate my mind. Why would my relatives say that to me? But I'm very grateful to my shifu, shimu, brothers and sisters, and my parents for insisting on doing the right thing, which is continuing to stay in Tai Ji Men, leading me on the right path of life. Dr. Han has been devoting himself to promoting Tai Ji Men's culture of love, peace, and conscience for the purpose of people's physical, mental, and spiritual health. His footsteps of spreading love and peace have covered the 5 continents in the world. I grew up following Shifu's wisdom to cultivate myself, and I also have many opportunities to participate in cultural exchanges of public welfare activities held both in Taiwan and overseas. Even though we have been persecuted for so many years, my shifu still teaches his dizi to love our country and all the people in even the world. After 10 years and 7 months, on July 13, 2007, the court has finally returned justice to us with non-guilty verdicts of no fraud, no tax evasions, and no violation of tax codes in all 3 hearings. However, the National Taxation Bureau has continued to issue unjustified tax bills. It's been 25 years. Those years should have been the most carefree time of my life, but Instead, they were spent under the oppression of our governments. What is even more outrageous is that the National Taxation Bureau of Taipei and the Central Area corrected the tax bills of 1991 and 1993 to 1996 to zero, except the year 1992's similarly unlawful tax bill. Last year, on August 21st, the enforcement agency illegally auctioned the property of Tai Ji Men. This obviously violated the international covenants, such as the ICCPR and ICESCR, and the constitutional principle of equality and the protection of litigation rights, including the freedom of religious belief and cultural rights of Tai Ji Men dizi, were also severely violated. We were persecuted by the government for 25 years. The Tai Ji Men unjust tax case is not the only case that has been persecuted. After I participated in the legal tax reform movement, I found that too many tax victims were persecuted and even lost their lives. The law and tax issue not only persecuted human rights but also affects the economy of Taiwan. I once saw an article in Commonwealth magazine on the internet, and its title was 300 NT dollars to live for 3 weeks. Taiwanese youth's lifelong income is lower than the previous generation. In the beginning of the article, it mentioned they have the best educational opportunities and substantial life, but they have become the generation with the lowest income. Reading this passage, I feel sad and helpless because the generation mentioned in the article is my generation. I'm very fortunate to be born in a well-off family. My father is an entrepreneur and runs his business quite well. Thus, he can support my sister and me to study abroad. I still remember that after graduating and working in the United States for a period of time, I encountered problems that all international students would encounter. Stay or return to Taiwan? A seemingly simple question may be enough to affect our future. Many students mentioned that the reason for not returning to Taiwan were the poor working environment and poor salary. Some of them stayed in the US and others went to China, and I finally chose to return to Taiwan, mainly because I hope to be able to accompany my parents and also contribute to my father's company. During several business trips and meetings with Germans and Chinese, I deeply realized that the resources available to Taiwan from all parties are getting less and less due to the huge Chinese market. German suppliers put more efforts on developing Chinese market. China's large lands, numerous talents, and the rise of the market are inevitable factors that make them stronger and stronger. However, in my parents' generation, although Taiwan is small, we had created many economic miracles. Back then, Taiwan could do it. Why can't it now? The reason was actually just mentioned, including brand trend and the Taiwan market that has prevented many foreign investors from investing. In recent years, the United Nations published the World Investment Report, and Taiwan's ranking in attracting foreign investment has gradually fallen back in Asia. The amount of investing is only 1/3 of Vietnam and 1/2 of the Philippines. The Lawson School of Management in Switzerland has also announced that the three major reasons for the low competition in Taiwan are government effectiveness, tax competitiveness, and legal environments. Various statistics show that we in Taiwan are facing industrial relocation, brand drain, and low salaries, causing young people to give up marriage, childbirth, buying houses, and even their dreams and hopes. Taiwan is in a crisis of rapid collapse. The key lies in Taiwan's deteriorating legal and taxation environment. Therefore, it is urgent for the Taiwan government to resolve wrongful and false tax cases and to return people's justice, such as resolving Tai Ji Men case, a landmark case in this regard. Over the past 25 years, Tai Ji Men dizi have gone through all kinds of remedy and petition in Taiwan, but still cannot obtain justice and ratification. Recently, Tai Ji Men dizi in the United States have carried out petitioning protests across the United States, hoping to tell the Taiwan government through international forces that the case must be rectified immediately. Officials who violate the law should be held accountable to prevent the unscrupulous officials from continuing to harm the people and Taiwan's international image. Today, I'm here to participate in this forum because I want to let the world know that the people of Taiwan are being persecuted for human rights and need your assistance. I want to ask the Taiwan government to protect people's freedom of belief and human rights, rectify the unjust tax case immediately, and return Tai Ji Men's property. I also want to call on the government to face the legal and tax issues and make pragmatic reform, otherwise there will be no future for Taiwan. Thank you.
Thank you, Eva Mao. When we're talking about Tai Ji Men case, we're actually talking about tens of thousands of persecuted people, including Tai Ji Men shifu and dizi and their families all around the world. It's a big deal, and it's a very serious problem. So hereby I call on Taiwan government to justify Tai Ji Men case as soon as possible. It will not only benefit Tai Ji Men shifu and dizi and their families, but also the happiness of all people living in Taiwan. I believe that by exerting conscience, the case would be easily solved, and when everyone living on the earth can exert their own conscience, we can achieve a wonderful world full of love and peace. And finally, let's hear the song Love of the World. We'll see you next time. Bye bye.